If you are a fan of shadow work and the powerful shadow work journal, I have an all-important question for you. How big is your shadow right now, and why does this matter? It's me, Elizabeth. I'm an artist and an art therapist, and I devote my entire life to helping people connect with their loved ones in the spirit world through dreams and visitation dreams and signs and signals. And I got here by doing my own ongoing deep dive into shadow work. And I am here to tell you that if you can learn to tune in and understand how big your shadow is and how big your triggers are just in any given moment, you will be so incredibly empowered. You will literally be able to go, oh no, my shadow and my triggers are so big right now. They're filling up my whole entire body. I cannot possibly interact with that person. And the way to do this is kind of magical. It is creative. It's a completely different approach. So I want you to go grab a pen or a pencil and any kind of piece of paper. No artistic talent required and no special materials required. And I do my shadow work in lots of different ways. I use my dreams, like Carl Jung, the father of shadow work. I meditate. I do lots of time in nature. But primarily, I also process my shadow through art making and tuning in to what's going on in my body and putting that on a piece of paper. Let's try it right now. Do you have your pen and paper? Okay. Now, I want you to take a moment with me and go within and really tune into any triggers you are feeling in your body. And if it gets too uncomfortable, then try it another time. But if you can stick with it, I want you to go to any feelings of difficulty, any triggers, or anything that you might not even understand that is uncomfortable and going on in your body. And the idea here is with no thinking at all. I want you to use your inner eye. I want you to use your imagination, and I want you to check in and see what size your shadow and your triggers feel like in your body right now. And it may fill up everything and feel like they're exploding out of you completely. Or your triggers might feel really teeny tiny and small and pretty good. And again, there is no right or wrong. And now that you've identified how big your shadow is or how small, I want you to draw it on your piece of paper. And we are talking about scribbles. We're not making finished art in any way. We're just trying to identify the size of our shadow in this moment. And so if you drew your shadow and it completely went off the page and it feels huge and overwhelming, probably not a good time to interact with people in the outer world if you can avoid it, and probably best to kind of do something soothing like breath work or taking a walk outside or even doing something creative like playing music or listening to music, whatever you are able to do that is self-care and self-soothing in this moment. And if your shadow feels very small right now, just enjoy that, breathe into it, see if you can notice that feeling in a very substantial way so you can call it up at any time and remind yourself that you're not always triggered and that your shadow is not always overwhelming and that sometimes you feel just fine. Please let me know in the comments below the size of your shadow and if this little teeny practice helped. And of course, for more creative approaches to working with your shadow and working with your triggers, then follow me and watch my videos. It's always a privilege to serve you on this journey. From my heart to yours, a big namaste.